we found in you. Love one another, yeah, love one another, that's what we'll do. Love one another with a love like no other that we found in you. Love one another, yeah, love one another, that's what we'll do. We're alive to love one another. We're alive with love like no other. We're alive, we're sisters and brothers. We're alive to love one another.
Day or night, rain or shine, no matter what comes in this crazy life, I know you'll be here with me, faithful every day. You were all I need. And how could I ever deny you are enough, you are enough. And we believe and we have seen your love, your love, your love. Everything we ever need comes from you, comes from you. Every breath we'll ever breathe comes from you, only you. You're all I need, you're all I want. You're always by my side and you make me strong. And how could I ever deny you are enough, you are enough. And we believe and we have seen your love, your love, your love. Everything we ever need comes from you, comes from you. Every breath we'll ever breathe comes from you, only you. You give us everything good and perfect. You give us life and you keep the world turning. Everything we ever need comes from you, comes from you. Your love will always be enough for us, enough for us. Your love will always be enough for us. Oh, everything we ever need comes from you, comes from you. Every breath we'll ever breathe comes from you, only you. You give us everything good and perfect. You give us life and you keep the world turning. Everything we ever need comes from you, comes from you. Your love will always be enough for us, enough for us. Your love will always be enough for us, enough for us.
You make the darkness run and hide. You bring the broken back to life. Only you can, only you can. You set me free from every chain. You fill my heart with songs of praise. Only you can, only you can. Jesus, you're the only reason that I'm even breathing. I am wide awake. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm. Every beat is calling out your name. You left the glory of your throne to bring this runaway back home. Only you can, only you can. You give me love, you give me life, you keep me dancing through the night. Only you can, only
brisket worship. Today, on my way home, I went to NASA so Mom can do a little work. But on my way home, I saw a very poor man who was homeless. And he was hungry and he doesn't have any money. I told Mom that we need to help him, but she said we don't have anything. And what should I do? What does the Bible have to say in impossible situations? Let's check it out.
What's up, everybody? Erica here, and I am so happy to have you on my block. As you can see, we've got a whole community of people living right here, working together to help each other and show compassion. Compassion is caring enough to do something about someone else's need. Every person is made in their own unique way, and every person can use what they have to show compassion. You want to see? They can build things. Ooh, I know. They can fix things and even make people feel safe. Everybody has a part to play. And there are clues, even when you're young, to help you know what your part is. For instance, you might like to help your parents out around the kitchen. Someday you may be a chef. Or maybe you like building things out of Legos. You might grow up to be a construction worker. Oh, these are not toys. What if you really love animals? Oh, how cute! Someday you could be a veterinarian. Oh, even cuter! If you look really close at what you're good at and the gifts you've been given, you might get a glimpse of what you'll be like when you're older. Or, like you'll see in today's story, God can use what you have right now to do something miraculous. I'm not sure what I have to give, but I hope it involves a cute puppy. I'll see you next time.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of John, chapter 6, verses 1 through 13.
Let's set the stage. Jesus had been performing amazing miracles and healing people. Great crowds gathered wherever He went. So, when Jesus needed a little time away, He crossed the Sea of Galilee with His friends. He was probably looking forward to a quiet day on the mountainside, overlooking the lake. But the crowds had followed.
Oh, you've gotta be kidding me.
Looks like thousands.
Should we send them all away?
No, I'll talk to them.
Even though He was tired, Jesus welcomed the people. He could see the hunger in their hearts, so He sat down on the mountainside and began to teach them.
I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry.
Through the heat of the day, Jesus kept speaking to the people. As the sun sank lower, though, people started getting restless. See, nobody planned to stay there the whole day, and everybody was getting hungry. Well, Jesus knew how He would provide a meal, but first, He spoke to His friend Philip.
Where can we buy bread for all these people to eat?
Philip's eyes widened as he looked down over the mountainside.
There are thousands of people here. Even buying enough bread for everyone to have one bite would take more than half a year's pay.
Feeding this crowd certainly seemed like an impossible job. Jesus' friends started to check around, trying to see if anyone at all had brought along some food. Now, imagine you are there, on that very same hillside. Early this morning, you heard footsteps and excited voices just outside your home.
They say Jesus is heading for the lakeshore.
Now, you had never seen Jesus, but you had heard a lot about Him, so you begged your mom to let you go along, please.
Please, please, please. It's not far.
And she said yes, which is pretty amazing, but she wouldn't let you run out the door unprepared.
Here,
I've wrapped up some bread and fish for you.
Thanks, Mom.
So you grabbed the bundle, thanks Mom, and ran out the door, joining the crowd. When you finally reached the lakeshore, the crowd was a little overwhelming. But high up on the mountainside, you could see a man surrounded by a close-knit group of followers. Sometimes it's good to be little, so you make your way little by little uphill through the crowd.
Excuse me?
After a while, you were so close. You could hear Jesus.
Anyone who hears my word and believes him who has sent me has eternal life.
You slid under someone's elbow and found a place to sit on a little rock just a few yards away from Jesus. And all day, you listened. You weren't bored even a bit, because somehow everything Jesus said, it seemed like he was saying it just to you. In fact, you even forgot to eat your lunch.
Oops. Guess I am kind of hungry.
Now you can see other people are getting hungry too. And Jesus has taken a short break to talk with his friends, and then you're sad because Jesus is probably planning to send everybody away to get their own food. But then, a few of his friends start walking through the crowd.
Does anyone have any food?
Nothing here, I'm sorry.
Oh, you really want your bread and fish at this point, but as tired and hungry as you are, you know Jesus has been working hard all day. So, you clear your throat, and then you say,
I do.
Great. What do you got?
5 little loaves and 2 fish.
Not much.
I know, but Jesus can have it.
Well, thank you. Come along.
You follow Jesus' friend Andrew right up to Jesus.
Here's a boy with 5 small loaves of barley bread and 2 small fish. It won't go far in such a large crowd.
Jesus turns and looks right at you. He can see you're hungry and that you've chosen to give up your lunch anyway. And then he smiles. It's the best thank you you've ever gotten. He reaches out his hands and you give him your food. Then Jesus turns back to his friends.
Have the people sit down.
Jesus' friends exchanged surprised glances, but then they started gesturing to the crowd.
All right, everyone sit down.
Plenty of room.
Like a slowly rolling wave from front to back, you see all the people sit down. Then, right beside you, Jesus takes your 5 small loaves of bread and 2 small fish, and he lifts them up to heaven.
Father, thank you for this food you've given us.
Then, Jesus takes the loaves and breaks them. He begins handing them out to his friends and to the people in the first rows on the ground. He does the same with the fish. You even get some of your own bread and fish back.
Yum.
You look around and you can see Jesus' friends still handing out pieces of fish and bread to the crowd.
But this is way more than what I gave to Jesus.
Soon, it seems like the entire crowd is eating dinner. Your own stomach is already full, and you still have bread and fish left over. As the people around you begin to finish their meals, Jesus calls his friends again.
Gather the leftover pieces. Don't waste anything.
You watch in amazement as Jesus' friends go through the crowd with large baskets. And sure enough, lots of people have extra bread and fish to drop inside. When the men finally return to Jesus, they've collected 12 full baskets of leftover fish and bread.
That's impossible.
But you know it happened, because you saw it, and because you've met Jesus. Nearby, a man exclaims,
This must be the prophet who's supposed to come into the world.
Now, you aren't sure exactly what that means, but you are sure that Jesus deeply cares for every single person on this hillside. And you're sure that he can take your small lunch to meet every single person's need.
When the boy showed up to see Jesus on a mountainside with a crowd of over 5,000 people, it probably never crossed his mind that he could be part of a miracle. All he had to offer was 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and God used it to feed everyone. You never know what God's going to do when you use what you have to help others. So, what do you have? Do you like to entertain people? And are you good with animals? Do you like to make things grow? Do you enjoy serving others? Everybody has something they can use to help others. could be all you need are these, your hands. Your hands can help lift things, clean things, and repair things. Something else you have is this, your brain. You can use your brain to help solve problems or to help create something incredible. And what about these? Your ears. Sometimes to help others, all you need to do is listen. And then these, your elbows. I'm not really sure what you can use your elbows for. Oh, I got it. You can use your elbows to help a small child find their parents in a crowd. Excuse me. Nailed it. The one thing to remember today is this. Use what you have to help others. You don't have to wait until you're older. God can use even the smallest things to make a big difference. I just thought of another use for your elbows. The chicken dance. Your turn.
So I looked around in the car and I saw it. Bug spray. I told Mom that we don't have any food or money, but I did tell her that we got bug spray. So Mom turned around and gave the bug spray to the very poor man. And he said, thank you, because there is a lot of bugs in the South. How can you use to help others? This is Spencer signing off. Make sure to click like, subscribe, leave a comment. And remember, God made you special and He loves you very much. Bye.
Out there are hurting. So many people who need love. Sometimes I feel a little helpless, like what I have won't be enough. I may not have everything, but what I have I'll share with you. 'Cause what real love would ask of me show real love to you. Sometimes the greatest gift that someone can receive is to know they're not alone in the greatest need. Yeah. This is a mission if we're up to the test. It's not impossible. Takes our best, show up, give love away. This is our mission if we're up to the test. It's not impossible, but it takes our best, show up, give love away.
Can this really change a thing when so much still needs to be done? Oh, don't feel the pressure to change everything. Just give what you can give to us. Sometimes the greatest gift that someone can receive is to know that not alone. Possible
first thing I want you to do is imagine how this picture could have happened. I tried doing that, and here was what I imagined. I imagined that the little boy in the striped shirt fell and got hurt. And maybe he scraped his knee, and the dog is there to comfort him. But he doesn't want to walk on his knees, so his big brother went and got the wagon and started to pull him in it, but in that grass, it was just hard to make the wheels turn. So the middle brother is pushing from behind. Can you imagine that? Maybe you have a different story, but that's the one I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how sometimes what we think needs to happen, like pulling the wagon, can seem impossible. Can you imagine feeding 5,000 people and having leftovers just from a little lunch that a little boy brought? Well, compassion means you care enough to do something about somebody else's need. There are some things you may be good at, like the big brother may be good at saying, here's the solution, we go get a wagon. How can you use what you're good at to help others? Maybe the little boy in the back didn't feel like he was adding much value, but without him, the wagon might not have rolled. If you see how deep those wheels are, that would be really hard. So what do you have that you can help someone else with? You may say, I don't have anything. Well, the little boy in the back may have felt that way, but the little boy in the front couldn't have done it alone. So if you have lots to offer, you just need to figure out what it is. So if someone is sad, sometimes all you have to offer is just listening to them. Say, can you tell me about why you're so sad? And then just tell them, I don't know how to fix it, but I still love you and I care about you and you matter to God and to me. Maybe they feel left out and you can help them out by including them in something that's very special to you. Maybe it's a party that you're hosting and you're going, should I invite them? Because they're always left out. Maybe that's how you show them love and how God includes everybody. Maybe it's when they make a mess, instead of harassing them about it and teasing them and mocking them, maybe you help them clean it up and say, you know what, we've all made messes. Maybe they need to borrow something and you lend it to them. Or like the wagon, maybe it's helping your parents push their grocery cart. Maybe the need feels way too big or too complicated for you to be able to do anything to help it. It felt that way to the disciples too. They didn't know how to help. They said, this is way too many people, but God may use you in a way you can't imagine yet. So that's our prayer for you this week, that God will help us not hold on tightly to anything that's mine, but show compassion and to be generous and to be willing to share. See you next time. Have a good one.